In this video we'll be looking at everything you need to know about fire features, including why you need to install one, what features are out there that you can use, and where are you going to put the fire feature or fireplace, council restrictions, plans and design, and how will you do it, installation and overall cost. Just using more of the natural wood option, and this is a if you want, yep.
Push it in, turn it around, wait for the gas to ignite the pilot. That's the pilot light ignited over here now. Wait for the safety valve, the thermocouple to warm up a bit, which it's done. Turn it on.
The next part is, if we've decided we want one of these ovens or fireplaces and fire features, we've then got to decide where can we put it in our garden. So there's two parts of this. There's obviously our design part, so it looks great from our outdoor entertainment area. The second part is, what do the government / council say about it? So what they're saying is I'll briefly describe what they're saying. If you want to get the full details on this, I would suggest go to the site in your country. But at the moment what they're saying is you're exempt from any kind of permits as long as you keep the outdoor feature 1 meter away from the street fence, and it's a maximum cooking surface less than 1 square meter, and they want a top flue of about 2.4 meters above the ground, and secured in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions, which seems pretty straightforward. The only thing else that they do mention is that if obviously if you're having a fire that produces a lot of smoke, this can become a hazard. So they're saying it's a good idea to keep it 3 meters away from the building or hedge or anything else that could catch fire. That's common sense, and that's from Fire and Emergency New Zealand. Now, what does need a consent is if you are attaching it to an existing dwelling, house or shed, and if your cooking surfaces or the fire surface is greater than 1 meter, and also if you're placing it under an existing roofed sun shelter, and so this is where you may be enclosing it by 2 sides, and then it's becoming more of a kind of, I guess, a building, and it's becoming more of an interior fireplace rather than an exterior fireplace. So some things there just to be aware of. like I said, come and check some of these restrictions out yourself. They'll be different probably for every country, but most of them are, these ones are, they are common sense. You know, like you don't really want to put fire near things that will ignite and then cause a problem. So the LPG fires are a bit less of a problem when it comes to smoke, so that's something to bear in mind. So for this particular example for planning, we've taken this one here. This is the Douglas outdoor fire feature, and I've built a replica model of it. So this is, as we're looking now, this is in the 2D format. There are other free ones that you can get from places on the net, like 3D Warehouse, and get little models of fireplaces, and that's them over here. I'll just give you a quick look of what it looks like in the perspective, the 3D. So as you can see, there's the model, and it has been built. I've built that through my program that I've got, and the program I've got is Landscape Architect 2020. It allows you to build models and things like that, so that when you do come to planning, you can place these exact fire features into your design, which is very, very useful. Okay, so the second part of this is looking at design. So if we flip to the next drawing, we can have a look at how this will all look in a design. So this was a house that it's just a mock-up house where it's not a real house. It was the one, kind of like the one in Botanic Gardens that we did the decking of, so I've just adjusted it a bit, and as you can sort of see here, this is the fire feature that I've placed in the corner here. So some of the things that I would look out for when placing these features is that if this is your outdoor entertainment area, you want to be able to, one, flow out directly to it, and then be able to have some big enough to allow furniture to be able to sit around it. Also, if I'm sitting inside the house, do I really want to be looking out directly out at a fire feature, especially when, say, during the day when it's not on, it's just going to be a concrete structure to look at, so that might not be particularly nice. However, if I'm looking out here and there's a neighbor's window or something on this side of the fence, maybe it's not a bad idea to put something like use this feature here as a screening for that. So, but generally speaking, I would try and locate it to the side, out of the way of the main views of the lounge dining area. So here we've placed it on a concrete base, and we've just put some seats around it. And now if we just remember the restrictions that we had from the council, so this one really has to be at least 3 meters away from the boundary fence, which is good. This one was 4, and this one should be about the same. Yeah, so it's about 3.2. This means that smoke and anything like that will be less of a problem. Also, of course, this has got the flue on it, which is going to bring the smoke up further, especially for the wood fires. Again, like I said, it doesn't really matter so much for LPG. They pretty much don't give off any real smells or smoke. So let's have a look at this now. One other thing that we just have to bear in mind is obviously these fire features will put out radiant heat. Now, generally speaking, they'll go up to around about 4 meters that you can keep warm, but in this case, this is quite good. So these guys are around about, on the couch here, 2 meters away, which is not too bad. That will keep people nice and warm when they're sitting there having a chat and a couple of beers or wines. Now, okay, let's have a quick look to see what it looks like in perspective. And here we go. We've got a fairly large dining area, outdoor living area, because we're accommodating this fireplace now, as well as we want a outdoor setting as well. So there you go, guys. That's pretty much it. That would be, if I was living here, I'd be thinking that was pretty awesome. And at night, obviously, you're going to extend your outdoor entertainment and enjoyment. So that wraps up the design aspects of this part of the video. The next bit is basically about how much is it all going to cost, and a little bit about installation, and we'll look at that next. So this part we're going to look at installation. So for the installation of these wood fire burners, especially, they come in like a precast units, and if you can see, this one here has been craned in, and they generally have to be craned in because that unit there will be about 1500 kgs, so about 1.5 tons, pretty heavy, and then they're craned into place. But they need to be placed on a fairly solid foundation. So here you can see here this is a concrete foundation with steel reinforcing. Now I've got details of that. If you want to check out a video, there's other guys that will show you in detail how that's put in. But as you can sort of see, they've got this one here. It says at the end of it, in step 3, you've got to fill it with a bit of concrete to fill it up, and then afterwards you've got to put a finishing on it because it's coming as bare concrete. So if you want to put mortar on it, and then you've got to put the steel box in, and then finally you enjoy. So that's pretty much the installation procedure for all of these models. With the LPG model, you get the steel firebox unit with the gas attachments, but then you could actually then build custom build around it. So you might not have to go to this process of craning anything in. You could probably then custom build something in place. Okay, the other features, like the smaller fire features, they're pretty much probably a 2-person lift, two maybe 3 people lift. I think they can get up quite heavy too, to a couple hundred kgs. So they could be trolleyed in, or with a couple of guys there to sort of put them into location. And again, you don't really want to put these on decking, or if you are, then you want to reinforce the decking so it can take these heavy loads. So there you can see this one here, it's got decking here, but it's actually getting positioned onto the concrete pad. Okay guys, next we'll look at the overall cost of these fire features and fireplaces. Okay guys, we're going to have a quick look at the pricing for this particular model that we've just put into our design, and as you can see, it is $7,000, and that is for this unit in the middle here. So that's what you're paying the $7,000 for, and that is excluding the hi-hat, getting it transported to site and getting it basically craned onto your site. It excludes the paint finishes or any other finishings, and it excludes these 2 wood boxes, the hearth, the little bit of a grid on the top. So those are all different prices, and you can sort of see you can add $2,500 to add these 2 wood boxes on, and you've got stainless steel options. You've got some doors that you can put onto it, and all sorts of different things there. So it can mount up when you're adding all those little extensions on. So that's some of the prices there, just to have a look at. All up, again, you're looking around about, probably finished on site, installed, about $12,000 to $15,000. Okay, so we've got another company here. These guys are called Flare, and they're another New Zealand company. So just to get a comparison of prices, you can sort of see these guys come out with their own, a slightly different model. This starts off with their cheaper range, which is the Deluxe, with 1 firebox underneath, and then the Premier, it's got 2 boxes underneath, and down Prestige, Executive, and you can see the different price ranges here, getting up to $8,700 including GST. That's for, I'm guessing, for all this, that you've got the 2 fireboxes in the middle bit and the inside. And then yeah, as we go down, there's a little fire feature that they're offering us also. Now the accessories part I thought was quite interesting here. So you've got the standard cooking frame, these all things like stainless cooking frames and grills, a little pizza oven, quite a cool idea. So you can do your little pizzas on your wood burner, and that shows you just pretty much how it's put together in a little kit set there. Now these are the guys that do the video on the install. That's why I'm showing you that, because they do show you how to do the pad, the concrete pad that this sits on. So I thought these guys were worth a mention. And then there's just some extra bits and pieces there for polishing and finishing options for your concrete. You can have standard modern polish or traditional polish, and different prices there with that. Okay guys, that's just a comparison. It obviously pays to have a good look around in your local market to see what the prices are, but again, you're probably still around about that sort of 12 to 15 grand all up for a pretty decent outdoor fireplace. Okay, I thought we'd have a quick look at the LPG pricing, and this is for the Aurora. So as you can sort of see, the pricing is actually for just the steel sort of fireplace unit here, and the connections. It's all stainless steel, it's all quality finishings, but the extras would be where you put in this fake chimney and the surrounds. And if you don't want the fake chimney, you can just put it in straight into the bench. So it has some pretty good options here. The Aurora starts around the $7,000 mark, around about 7,106, and goes to 9,237 for the 1500mm wide. So that's the Aurora, and if you have a quick look, this is the Chef. So this one has a turn down grill and you can cook food on it. It's also got a very nice way of taking all the grease and fat down a hole, and then you've got basically a little grease straw down the bottom where you can take it out. Here it is down here. I think that's the grease straw down there that you pull that out, and there's a little hole there where the grease sort of goes down. And these are the sort of dimensions. They come again from going in from about 1200mm wide, this burner, to about 1500, and ranging between $9,000 to $10,000, $10,500 for the 1500. So yes, stainless steel fitting, and very nice if you want to sort of add one of these sort of features where you don't want the hassle of, say, buying logs and you just want the LPG. You will need a gas fitter to fit in the piping, and that would be an extra installation cost. Okay, we're just going to have a quick look at some of the fire features and how much they cost, starting with this one here. Art of Living, tie. You've got your fire pit and this one. So we've got some more water fire features here. This one's about 2,600, and it's a gas-fired pit table. And you basically
this is connected with gas bottle.
Gas bottle. Is the gas bottle underneath, or is it somewhere separate?
No, somewhere else beside the fire pit.
Okay, get
yes, underneath this way.
Yeah.
You can put the gas bottle inside of this table.
I would recommend to go visit the 3 places that we've talked about, the Trends, who do wood burning fires, Living Flame, who do the gas burning fireplaces, and Living Culture, who do fire features. And they will give you the up-to-date pricing and also fill you in all the extra details that I didn't have time to do today. So thanks for watching guys, and we'll see you in the next video.